Let's call the meeting to order for the Board of Sewer Commissions, Thursday, March 28th, 2019. Being held here at the wastewater treatment facility. So item number one is agenda approval. So on the agenda tonight we have public comment, approval of the fiscal year 20 wastewater treatment facility O&M budget, and then any other business is found necessary. Hear a motion to accept the agenda?
Motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right. So, let's start with public comment. Anybody have anything they want to talk about?
Nothing happened.
Not to call you out, John. But you are welcome to.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Moving on past public comment. Let's take a look at the wastewater treatment facility budget.
Okay, I just would like to preface it with, I won't go into.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you state your name for the camera, please?
Oh, Darcy Pruden. I've done that before.
And what's your job?
Wastewater Chief Operator?
For all the people at home that might not know your face.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay, continue on.
Okay. So, because you're going to be approving the budget this evening, I thought it would be good to just provide a synopsis of what our plans are for this upcoming budget year. I could go over what we did last year. That's 1 year, but probably you don't want me to talk for 3 hours. So I thought I'd just put together a quick synopsis of where the money is going. I've been completing the new state mandated online DMR submittals, which was new last year, including total nitrogen, phosphorus, and ammonia test results. That's been since July of 2018, and all the submittals have been deemed acceptable by the state, which is good. We are on schedule for planned maintenance activities and equipment replacements, and included with the budget packet that was sent, you'll see that I have all the equipment broken down and what the replacements have been and what the schedule will be. Of course, we're in the wastewater profession, so we're always prepared for plug pumps, electronic failures, electrical hitches, house service issues, and as in years past, our goal really is that problems are resolved quickly and with the least expense to the users. Those are our main goals. Our new permit is requiring us to perform our annual effluent testing in the summer of 2019. This has been scheduled and the results will be submitted to the state as required. And another condition of our new permit is to perform whole effluent toxicity testing. And it's a lengthy sample collection and testing procedures. They'll be partially performed by the wastewater staff, but they will be concluded by an outside laboratory. The results must be submitted to the state again by the end of the year. There has been an inquiry into a potential sewer decommission, which is a physical decommission. I've provided the landowner with the necessary documentation application to proceed. I haven't received that yet, but if I do, I will let you know, and we will go from there. And there's also a potential new connection at Mac Molding and Route 346, and I have been and I will work with the representative to assist them with their connection as needed. We will be performing gravity line sewer main flushing in the areas of town that need it. We do that every single year as well. We have a plan. We'll also be performing grinder pump station wet well checks and spring wet well cleanings at our major pump stations, PB3, MP4, and PC2. They need it. The wet wells get these very large sludge layers on them, and if we do not actually physically beat them and have them sucked out and removed, it will get into the pumps and into the force mains, and it's just, we don't want to go there. So it's a regular maintenance requirement. Great. We're getting ready for the summer season, so we're cleaning and storing the winter equipment and getting the summer equipment ready for use. And spring cleaning will be done at all 11 major pump stations around town. We do that every year too. We actually vacuum the insides and clean the outsides. I'm a girl, what can I say? We received notification from the state that they will be performing some storm drainage outfall testing throughout the town this spring and summer. They've contacted me and Joel, we've met with them, so we'll assist if needed with that as well. And we'll also be performing camera inspections in the sewer mains at Green Mountain Mobile Home Park and Elta Garden Mobile Home Park this summer and fall. And we're going to focus our efforts on locating and fixing any areas that may contribute excess inflow and infiltration that would, overburden our pumps. And the last thing I really had was our next meeting is typically scheduled for June. This would be June 27th of 2019, and that's when we addressed our budget adjustments for 2019. So that's my synopsis. So any questions, feel free. Go ahead. Oh, we're waiting for the chair.
Pardon me while I write this down in my calendar for June 27th. Otherwise, I will forget.
I do write as well. So.
A couple of things. Now, you said you were going to do a camera infiltration up through Green Mountain Mobile Home Park and Alta Garden.
Correct.
Just out of curiosity, how do you do that? Do you have a main spot you can put the camera in, or do you have to go to each resident?
No, we won't go to residents. We'll stay in our area, and we will go from manhole to manhole.
Okay.
And inspect those first. And if we have any suspects on any of the house services, we may ask to have access to that. We actually can access that through the clean out back to our main if we do suspect there may be something, an infiltration or inflow coming in. But otherwise, we will be in our area.
Okay.
Yeah. I probably will draft a letter letting the park owners know that we'll be coming, just so that they can inform their residents, so they see people out in the yards, they're not nervous or wondering why we're there.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Go ahead.
you said you have a disconnect possible. Now, is that
Yes.
an abandoned property or?
It will be because it had a very old single wide on the property, and from what I understand from the property owner is that they may be looking to refinance or something in the future. The size of their property does not allow for 2 homes. So they are going to just physically remove the home, return the lot to nature, and just want a physical disconnect.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't in a hot zone that we had to worry about.
No, it's a reasonable request. I'm just waiting for the application at this point. So we allow 3 of those per year due to budgeting reasons. So it's first come, first serve. So they would be number 1 for this year.
Thank you.
Now, does the town normally have a lot of disconnects every year? Or?
No.
So that's why you set the number at 3?
Right.
Okay.
At least impact on the budget.
Okay. Now, you said there was a new connection?
Yes, MAC molding on 346.
Is the pump going to be able to handle a new connection?
Beginning stages of connection. So we don't have any concrete plans yet.
Okay.
But I will work with them on that, and we will work our way through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I assume that's going to be the same pump station that the trailer parks run off of?
It is absolutely not.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, it's the one that's located on Lincoln Street. It's the
Okay,
actually
the one
of
right
our
there by the
larger
train
pump
tracks.
stations that we clean the wet well. Yes,
Okay.
it's right next to MAC is where
Alright.
that would feed, which would be acceptable.
Now, how do you rate the flow coming from a commercial versus a residential?
We
Keep track of the,
It's a good question, and we have a flow design chart from the state of Vermont, which we base all of our non-residential connections with. So it would depend on what they are actually going to discharge, if it is just an employee-based discharge, or if it is commercial, or if it is industrial. Those would require further research to see, can our stations handle it, and what is the nature of the flow, would it affect our...
what kind of chemicals they might be dumping in.
It might require pre-treatment, it might require a grinder station. So those would all be considerations that we'd have to discuss. But we have all the mechanisms in place to go through those options with them.
All right. Does anybody else have any other questions? Any questions from the public that you can think of?
I can think of.
So I'll move into the budget because I kind of prefaced that with this. And I don't think there's anything that's going to jump out at you like, holy schmoly, what happened from one year to another. There's things like audit expense, insurances, telephone, workman's comp, FICA, electricity, sludge disposal. There's just some things that needed to be risen and are out of our control, and we needed to account for that. We also need to account for those expenditures for the future. the equipment that we will need in the upcoming future. Although we have been online here at the plant for 13 years, some of our equipment's been out there for years preceding that. So we're looking at heading into 20-year-old infrastructure. So we just need to be prepared to replace the equipment that needs to be replaced.
Why don't you start in a, I think,
Equipment schedule.
yes.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
Yep, and we do, and I think that every year included with the budget, and we are right on track. We're doing really well. I just want to make sure that we stay on track. And I do realize that this budget, that's okay, represents an increase for the first time in 3 years, but I think people need to understand it's $2 a month. And I think anyone who's on the system knows that if they pick up the phone and they call me and say, Darcy, I'm having a problem, I'm gonna be there. I mean, it will be taken care of. And on the other end of that is, if we are diligent in this stack, if we are on top of our game and we are taking care of our system and staying ahead of capital expenditures and fires that need to be put out, we put the users in a better position not to have more increases in the future. So that's how.
Preventative maintenance does go a long way.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you have any specific questions about the budget, please feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I'll just say, would you approve it?
I don't have any questions.
You might as well tell the folks out there what their sewer bill's gonna be.
Well, it hasn't been approved.
People like surprises, but I don't think that's one of them.
Yeah. So the
Thank you,
rates
Linda.
minus the revenues will be $492 per year. That represents a $24 per EU per year increase, a $6 per EU per quarter increase, or $2 per EU per month. It will not be that much next year. We don't anticipate that level of increase. Has not been increased in 3 years. So if you were to break that down over a 3-year period,
$6.
it's minimal, really, if you think about it. The next coming years, I know I've spoken with both Linda and Michael, and I think that what we do anticipate is trying to build into at least the capital fund a 1% increase, because as we do move on with the aging infrastructure,
Yeah, for pumps.
imminently it will become necessary to have larger expenditures, and we just don't want to end up in a situation where we're going, gee, sorry everyone, we gotta go and get a $20 million loan because we did poor planning.
Right.
So if we can plan on small increments and add that in, that's really where we want to be. I think that's reasonable and it's responsible to plan.
Make a motion.
So please don't be mad at me, everyone, for the, I'm trying to protect you.
Yeah.
Well, you field your own call, so.
We have a question?
It's not a question, I just want to make a point that you're not going to find more efficiently run wastewater plant and a better supervisor for a wastewater plant than Darcy. We're really proud of her, so we're very lucky.
Thank you. That's very kind.
We are very lucky.
Thank
So.
you.
It's not a very well sought after job, so we appreciate you taking it on.
You're welcome.
There's other terminology I would use, but not on camera.
Understood.
So,
I'll make a motion if we're all set as far as discussion.
all right.
I'll
Here,
second
motion.
that.
All right. All in favor of accepting the budget for wastewater?
Mr. Chairman, just as a point of order, it requested he say, accept the budget in the motion.
Okay.
That's
Alright.
why I just wanted to make sure there was no more discussion first.
All right.
No, but I beg your pardon, I just want to make sure make a motion to accept the budget. That's okay.
Thank you for your.
No, I just want to make sure. that-
No, I appreciate that. No, genuinely, thank
Actually,
you.
it's approve the budget.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Yes.
All right.
Make a motion, the select board to approve the budget as presented.
I will second that.
All right. All in favor of accepting the budget as is, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. All opposed?
You got the signature.
All right.
I have the signature.
Motion carries. The budget is approved.
And then you get to sign. Yay.
Oh, signatures, I love this part. I've been practicing my whole life for this.
My signature used to be so nice, now it's just a blur.
Just a scratch. I think I'm gonna resort to Michael's zeros. I
What?
like that better,
What?
the O's.
Yeah, that's great.
I like it.
Just bloop.
Can't do it any other way, you're fine.
Well, moving on, that concludes that. Is any other business anybody want to bring up? Any discussion, questions? Now would be a great time to have an open discussion with Darcy.
And if anybody wants a tour, please email me and let me know, and that's one of my most funnest things to do, so.
Well, Cat TV's here, we can give them a tour on TV.
I prefer the one-on-one, but
Can I ask you if there's any particular time or day of the week that's easier?
just call or email me, or I can just have a conversation and, let me know when it's good for you. And
Now, is that just for the board, or is that open to the public to call and ask for a tour?
I have always loved it open to the public if someone wants to come. I really prefer to do 1 or 2 people at a time because, time reasons, I have to work and get the jobs done. But also, I can set up samples, and it makes a lot more sense if I'm setting up real life samples. Michael saw it.
Mhm.
So and then as I'm walking you through the plant and the processes that I'm describing to you, you'd be like, oh, so that's what we saw in that beaker and that beaker and that beaker and that cylinder.
Besides the mechanical, the chemistry is just amazing, and she got an award for excellence for that, so it's fascinating stuff.
Are you holding a core certification for the testing and all that? So you're doing it yourself?
Yeah, I have to do blind testing from an outside lab. So they send me a bunch of samples for everything that I'm permitted for, and I have no clue what the results are. So I have to run my testing procedures on each one of those core requirements, and then I just send in my results. And the last time I got certificate of excellence for getting the correct result on every single item. So.
Yeah.
Nice. So, my wife is a teacher, so I know she's gonna want me to ask this. Would you be open?
Child tour.
Yeah. Would you be open to that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That would just have to be well planned. Make
Okay.
sure the kids are safe and in safe areas, and have more than one of us available at that time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Would you prefer that if a school wants to do that, they contact you directly, or would
Yes.
they?
Yeah, just
Okay.
contact me directly. Yeah,
Alright.
that's fine.
So for anybody listening in that at home, if you want to coordinate with Darcy for a tour for your students, feel free to call her. So,
Time providing.
I'm providing.
We can't do this on a daily basis, everyone. I'll never get anything done. I'll be coming to my board going, I haven't done a gosh darn thing this whole year except give tours. It's his fault.
like I said, my wife's a teacher, she'll want me to
On a
ask.
serious note, yeah, I think it's important that the kids know where everything goes and understand. And I think it's really great that they're going to come here and not go PU. It doesn't snow here, yay!
Yeah, but
You know,
water,
just
yeah.
exciting.
I just thought it would be a good idea, to find out. And I thought it'd be cool for the kids.
It is.
So maybe not just elementary kids, but maybe like the CDC
People who
students. See
are
if
looking for
anybody from CDC would want to come down and check it out.
Absolutely. I'm always open.
Could be a
Let them know that chemistry and math don't always lead to a clean degree.
Okay. Alrighty then.
We digress.
I'm sorry, I can't help. I'm a jokester.
That's alright.
But anyway, going back to being serious, I don't have any more questions. Anybody else have any questions or comments before we adjourn for the evening?
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right. All in favor of adjourning this meeting, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. We're adjourned.